Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Cam, here with my brief, spoiler-free thoughts on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This was directed by, and I'm going to read off all of their names because there are three directors on this thing, and I want to make sure that I get all of them right. Joaquim Dos Santos, Justin K. Thompson, and Kemp Powers. It was produced rather by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. We all know who they are. And this is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was released in 2018. Spider-Man, or the Miles Morales version of Spider-Man, is back, voiced once again by Shameik Moore. When we last saw him, he was just starting out. Where we pick up with him now, he's a little bit more seasoned, and is going after a villain known as the Spot, voiced by Jason Schwartzman. However, what starts out as a normal chase against what seems to be a villain of the week, well, is not that. It becomes quite a multiverse-hopping adventure in which Spider-Man 2099, voiced by Oscar Isaac, basically leads the Spider-Men as one, and, well, stuff happens. Again, spoiler-free, so I can't go beyond that. I don't think I've ever come across a movie more beloved than Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You ask anyone, literally anyone, and they will tell you that they love that movie to pieces. And I have a lot of respect for the movie too, but I remember in my initial review that I gave it a great rating instead of an amazing, with the main problem being the animation being a little too busy for my liking. But upon re-review with my buddy Mike Thomas, the novice cinephile, and rewatching clips for that review, I fell in love with the movie all over again. So when Across the Spider-Verse was coming out, I was basically like, I just said this.
My body is ready.
Was I prepared for what was to come?
Nope.
This movie's been getting praise across the board. It got 4 out of 4 stars on RogerEbert.com. Its letterboxed graph looks like this. So yeah, people are way into this movie. And 2 hours and 20 minutes later, I'm into it too. This movie's epic, plain and simple. I was thinking that this movie was going to be very good. After all, Lord and Miller are back behind this one, and they know a thing or two about movies, the Jump Street movies, the Lego movies, so on, so forth. However, yeah, I was not prepared for the quality that I was about to see, because yeah, this movie's incredible. First and foremost, and like I said, the animation in the first one was a bit of a bone of contention because it was so busy. However, this time around, strangely, I didn't really mind it as much. And I have a lot of praise for this animation because it is so beautiful. And I think what I like the most about it is that the animation is tailor-made for every universe that we see and every spider person or thing that we see. We have Miles's universe, we have Spider-Gwen's universe, which that universe, the best I can describe it is like watercolor paintings, but like left out in the rain. So, and that was beautiful in its own right. Spider-Man 2099 has his own style. It's a little more sheen, a little cleaner, so on and so forth. There is not just one default style. It's, as the multiverse is being explored, you're being exposed to more animation styles. I love that idea, and that idea is explored to its near full potential, and the movie's all the better for it. This being a Lord and Miller movie, there are a lot of, you get it? Like those kind of jokes. Like, and I have complained in the past, and I even said in my Into the Spider-Verse review for the Road to Across the Spider-Verse with Mike, that I am not a big fan of meta movies anymore, and that sentiment does hold true. There are many little, intimate, little, if you know kind of jokes.
At that point, even God's going, do you get it?
Like those kind of jokes. Like they do the Spider-Man pointing, I won't say where, but it is in there. I imagine it was only inevitable. However, they don't distract from the movie. If anything, they provide nice little moments of levity before continuing on with the story. If you know it, great. If you don't, it's a funny little moment that you'll probably remember, but then you'll just remember it as a funny little distraction that just you won't harp on for too long. So it's the best of both worlds. The movie's not just a bunch of references with no story. There is a beautiful story at the heart of this, and one that has a lot of intrigue. However, there is the genuinely awesome bonus of having these little moments of actually saying, "Oh, I caught that." And that was just a great balance. The voice cast is, of course, great. New returning players like Shameik Moore and Haley Steinfeld are both great, especially Haley Steinfeld. I was actually not expecting Spider-Gwen to be given more material, but I'm honestly surprised, or I'm honestly very happy that they did, because she's given a lot of time, and yeah, that was well worth it. Oscar Isaac is damn good as Spider-Man 2099. I don't have too much experience with this variant of Spider-Man. All I know of him is his face or his mask on a cover of a video game called Spider-Man Across Time. I'll put it up in post, but it was a game that I never got a chance to play, but I just love seeing that cover. It's Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Man we know, and then Spider-Man 2099 were all in the game, and they all had to go like back and forth in their various times. That's how I know this character. And seeing him, especially voiced by Oscar Isaac, it was just fantastic. But as I mentioned, there is a beautiful story at the heart of this. And again, no spoilers. I will not go any further. But what I will say is that this movie has a lot of intrigue, like I said earlier, but also the intrigue combining with the heart, meaning that Miles Morales has to, like all spider people or things, has to balance between being Spider-Man and, in this case, being Miles Morales. And that, in some cases, that being, well, disappointing to the loved ones. There's several great scenes in which it appears that Miles Morales is not really, like, his Spider-Man account is way in the debit section, but his stuff with his personal life and his family is way in the credit section, way in the black versus way in the red. And his family doesn't really just say, he's a kid, he'll grow out of it. They actually call him out on it in several really good scenes. It's actually quite interesting, this dynamic. So as crazy as this movie gets with all the multiverse stuff going on, it always goes back to that emotional through line, and that's what makes this movie just so good. Honestly, I feel like I could talk about this movie for an hour. However, I'm going to have a spoiler-filled discussion later on this week where I will dive into that a lot deeper. However, this movie gets an amazing grade. I mean, it's one of my favorite movies of the year. It's right up there with John Wick Chapter 4. I don't know if Chapter 4 is my number one, or if Across the Spider-Verse is. However, they're pretty close. I still love John Wick Chapter 4, but I think I love this just about as much. It's a true epic in every sense of the word. But I ask all of you, what are your thoughts on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And also, this is a spoiler-free review, so please keep the comment section spoiler-free. Again, I will have a spoiler-filled review later on in the week. And speaking of, I'm going to have two incredible guests on to discuss that, so it's going to be so much fun. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to allow notifications, so when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.